Empowerment Through Knowledge and Sarina Stone present the Tequila Drinker's Guide to Health and Wellness radio show with your host, medical QiGong author, practitioner, and educator, Sarina Stone, featuring the director of the Universal Healing Tao Medical QiGong System, Master Mantak Chia.
Hello and welcome back. Well, we haven't talked to Grandmaster Mantak Chia in a very long time. He has been out exploring the world, teaching esoteric QiGong, medical QiGong, healing arts to thousands of people. And on this show, we're just going to ask Master Chia, what have you been up to out there? Have you seen anything strange and wonderful? So say hello to your audience.
Yeah, hello.
Chia.
I'm Mantak Chia. Yeah, I've been around the world, go to the Europe, China, and Australia, and to America. So there is one round around the world.
This is why we call it the world tour. You teach in China too, right?
Yeah, China actually coming up bigger and bigger and bigger now. Yeah, more.
Isn't it true that for a while QiGong was not welcome in China?
Not say welcome because there are more Taoists, more people teaching QiGong. But I don't know that because of the way they receive it and the way they're teaching it. They make it so very traditional way, very mysterious way, so they don't actually, we said, it just don't want to, it's just like if you don't teach for a while and you try to teach something, you don't know how to teach it.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes there's so much thing inside there, if you don't know enough, you just don't know, you just piece by piece, people don't understand it.
Okay.
Yeah, so now more and more people understand the Tao easy to train because I teach Westerners so long. And in a Westerner mind is you have to be the esoteric, but they can understand, and the easy. And that's, it takes 30, 40 years to doing that.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter if we're in a place like China, where, you know, for a while there was not so much QiGong, or a place like America, where they've been trying to be open for many, many years. I think it's the same, is you have to study QiGong for a long time.
Yeah, QiGong is the ongoing training and understanding what is it. Yeah, that is what is the QiGong, what is the Qi. Understand that.
You know, over the years I've been to a couple of your workshops and in different countries, and the one thing that I think is impressive or important is that after the people come, and even if they just listen to you for a one-day seminar, they understand if they really want to get it.
Right.
They should come and train. They can find you when you travel, but they can also come here to the garden. I respect that about the way you teach, Master Chia, because the people don't believe that after 2 days with Master Chia, they are now QiGong masters.
I mean, they know that what they should do.
Yeah.
What you're doing.
It's important that for the new students, you make it very clear that you are just opening the door.
Yeah.
And that this could be a long relationship. When you are in Europe, this past year in 2017, now Europe had a lot of problems. They had the bombings and trouble with, you know, government. Did you find that the people of Europe were still very open to you?
I think that more and more people know that when they're in a more difficult situation, they need to looking for some means, some way for them to learn how to help them or control themselves. So that why the way that we try to teach the people is back to their own body, or we call turn back to your body wisdom. because people are so much every day. I mean, our brain 2,000-3,000 years ago, or few hundred years ago. Our mind is more simple. Why simple? Because our brain are constructed to a way that the brain have to control the inside, all the function of the organ, the digestion, absorption, elimination, the hormone system. This is what the brain job to do. And eventually, we forgot the work of the brain. And we use the brain into all kind of emotional, business, making money, making more frame. So our brain nowadays is about 60, 70, or 80% is outside.
Oh.
Everything is outside. So it come out with the mind. The brain say, hey, this is not my job, but you force me to do it. And the brain, so now we are so much outside. And later on, but that is how people can control their mind. Okay?
So if you're in Europe and they've just been having big problems with money, I know it's a short problem, but it's a problem today. And then, of course, with the trouble with the bombing and war and things like that. So are you trying to tell me that if the people were to go more inside, that they would feel better?
Yeah, because the mind doing, that means when the brain, they don't know what they want. Sometimes when we are wandering around, they don't know what the brain don't know what they want. But when you turn inwardly, the brain says, okay, I know this. Okay? Because this is their job. They're born to be doing that. Okay? And we are spending too much time just thinking, figure out things, and planning this and that, and we don't have. So our mind is so wandering out, and our mind never go back inside our body, and we never know. A lot of time, our simple problem can be solved with a simple go inside and get the emotional, get the energy flow, get the organ filled with energy, and more involved with the inside. A lot of simple things. A lot of complicated things become very simple things. Yeah.
So they could actually feel better about their situation. And we all know from QiGong, if we hold a picture of something beautiful in our mind, we will call that to us. But if we are focused on war and poverty, we will call that. Because
when the brain listen to this, see that, it feeds the brain, and the brain are so panic. Okay, but when they go back into their own body, they started to see, there are so many things I need to work on inside, make me better, make me more peace, more calm, make me more healthy, make me more better emotional. That's it, the thing, because outside stimulate us and make us so very emotional.
Okay, let's pretend that we have some new listeners out there. You're using the term emotional energy. Let's pretend that somebody is listening to the show for the first time. Can you give us talk a little bit about what is emotional energy and why is it so important? Because
we are living in a world of energy. As we say that everything is in the universe is energy. Inside us is energy. We eat, we breathe in order to producing energy. Because energy is energy.
Right.
That is running our life. Okay? But oftentimes, energy, they have a negative and positive energy. For example, we said love, joy, happy in the heart. That is a positive energy. But inside the heart, sometimes you can, people, oftentimes they don't know how to cultivate more love, more joy, more happiness. Definitely, very easily they get into the hatred, impatience, hastiness, cruelty, arrogance. It's energy. So there is energy go this way, or energy go this way. It's an energy.
Yeah.
So hatred energy is energy. Impatient energy is energy. Arrogant energy is energy. Okay, but loving energy, joy, happiness energy is still an energy, but a different kind of energy. That's how we're going to producing it.
And this has an effect on our inner self, like our physical body.
Yes, because we know that inside us we have a two simple system. We call the sympathetic and parasympathetic.
Okay.
So the Tao talk about relax, mind, and calm. That is 1,000 and 1,000 years because they know that it's promoting the health. Like, so sympathetic, we need it. That means we call a stress. So we need a good stress to push up, to wake up, to do this, to do that. And sometimes the stress pushes us. We need to work. We need to get money.
Yeah.
That is the stress.
I think about that every day.
Every day. But that is we call a necessity stress.
Yes.
But sometimes the stress is over. Okay, we call chronic, ongoing stress.
Okay.
So sometimes we are so much angry, so much frustration, so much stress, and it's built up too long. And oftentimes people work too hard, worry too much, and because all the business now is war. Business is war. You know, in the olden time when we make war, is you are fighting life and death. Okay, and now business is the same. Either I knock you down, or either I just get you out of business. You out of business. That's it. You know.
Okay.
And in the olden time, you know, you lost the kingdom or you lost your army. It's like it's the end of the world. The same thing like many big business or business owner, when they lost their business, they think the end of their life also.
They do.
Kill themselves.
I mean, sometimes they kill themselves.
Yes, because it's like that you're losing a war.
Yeah.
So now this kind of stress is too long. And now when it's too long stress, we know that stress affecting the most powerful part is the digestion. Digestion.
Listeners, I know you can identify with this. You get bad news and you feel it in your gut, and when you feel it in the gut and you don't know how to handle it, immediately affecting the digestion. If the digestion affected, and it's going to be continue with the absorption, because when your digestion cannot be digest the food well, the small intestine cannot absorb it. So now you are fighting a war, and very stressful, very tension, very stressed, and you have no food supply for the army to fight the war. You're going to lose the war. Oh.
And that's how we get sick, you know. So now the Western doctor don't know how to handle. It's called the chronic fatigue syndrome. They are so much stressed out. And chronic fatigue. Fatigue because they're so stressed. They cannot sleep, they cannot eat. When you cannot digest, you cannot absorb, you cannot sleep, you lose the war. You finish. Yeah. And that's how people get to one level, they're so sick and they cannot do anything. So that's why the parasympathetic are built in our system. And that's why we need to practice it. And the practicing is you have to go back to your recognize the brain, not always in those problems, but the brain go back to the organs. This is the job of the brain. So when you relax and smile, and just take a simple deep breath and smiling down, and now you have to have focus. You have to have focus, otherwise your mind out again. So we say, the Tao say, okay, you smile in your face, you feel you're smiling, your brain calm and nice, and smile to your heart. Now you have a focus. But if you believe that the brain and the heart, they're connecting, if you believe that, that's it. Now the mind go back to the heart, and the heart says, oh, this is my job, I like that, okay? And when the mind goes to the job, it started going to the sympathetic. That means calm, relax. When we calm, relax, the saliva come down, the face relax, the saliva come out, now digestion started.
Wow.
The other way, when we stress, the saliva dry out. The heart beat too fast, and the lung beat too fast. Now the stomach stop because we are on war. The stomach, no, when you're in war, nobody going to be planting the wheat, planting the rice. Nobody going to go to the field because everybody's shooting you.
Yeah, exactly, and you're in survival.
Yeah, survival. You only that. So that's why we are in a survival mode too long.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to. And people just forget it. So they never go back to their own body, and they don't know how to handle all this stressful thing. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we shall, we're going to do another interview, another podcast, so listeners, come back in the next week or two, and I think we should go a little bit deeper into this practice of yours, the inner smile. Now, I know we talked about it last year, but every time I speak to you, you have added more magic, okay? So, listeners, we're going to let Master Chia go, but come back in a week or two, and we're going to talk about this idea that he's bringing to the world of connecting the mind to the organs and having some positive thoughts around it. This is a course that Master Chia teaches all over the world, so we really want to talk about it so when it comes into your community, you can go and learn from the Master. So, Master Chia, we're going to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And see you in a week or two.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on another Empowerment Through Knowledge adventure. Want to learn more? Find Master Chia at mantakchia.com. That's mantakchia.com. Find more medical Qigong lessons, books, and information about studying directly with Sarina at sarinastone.com. SARINASTONE.com. Thanks for listening. If you like what you learned, subscribe today.